Shout out Henry for the beat though, no cap.
Man, I can't believe it's been a year already. So welcome to my channel, guys. So this is my 911 991.2 GT3. I got this car a year ago. Next week will actually be the first year of ownership of this car. And when I bought this car, it actually had 7,000 miles on it, and it has 15,000 miles already. So I've already put 8,000 miles on this car in the past year, which for a regular car, that might not seem like a lot, but for a GT3, it's actually a lot of miles to put on this car. This is a 2018 car, so over 4 years, the previous owners only drove 7,000 miles. That's like 1,500 a year approximately, maybe a little less than that. Yeah, I think it's a real shame, honestly, that people don't really drive this car a lot. If you look online, like if you just look at like 2018, if you look at the mileages, they're all honestly around like 15,000 or less. And if you do see some with like 20,000, 30,000 miles, that's considered like a lot of miles for these cars, which I think is a shame because I feel like these cars should be driven more. And I understand why people don't want to drive them. You know, the more miles you put on these cars, it really affects the value. But for me, that's not a big deal. I didn't buy this car to have it sit in a garage. I bought this car to drive it and have fun and enjoy it. You know, I'm not really too worried about, you know, the depreciation or whatever. You know, it's a car. Cars always depreciate. So I bought this car for me and for me to have fun. I didn't buy it to make money or any of that. I feel like it kind of detracts from people from buying them as well. Other high-end cars as well, like you see them with like low miles, like you're not supposed to drive them. It kind of gives you like the feeling like, oh, you're not supposed to drive these cars a lot. You know, these cars are only meant for the weekend or only meant for certain things, which I think is a real shame because I'm gonna be honest, this is like just like any other car. People just don't drive them, and you know, maybe it makes you feel like, oh, maybe it's like unreliable if you drive it a lot, you don't want something to happen, blah blah blah. But you know, let's turn the car on and go for a drive and talk about how the first year of ownership with this car is. Still sounds good, still sounds amazing. When I first bought this car, it was actually more exciting because you first buy a new car, you have that feeling of a new car where you're not, you know, you're figuring new stuff out about it, you know, you're getting used to it. For example, like the car I had before this was a Cayman, and that car had around 350 horsepower, while this one has 500. I wasn't used to the 500 horsepower, so whenever I would give it just a little bit of gas, I was like, whoa, it's a lot more faster than I was expecting. And then when you would floor it, you know, I would get an adrenaline rush every time. But now I'm more used to the power since I've driven it over the past year, so I don't really get that adrenaline rush anymore. But that doesn't deter that it's still not fun. You know, you still have fun enjoying it. It's fun to do launch control. All that stuff about the car is still fun. It's just that initial feeling of discovery and everything, that feeling is gone, but everything else is still there. Like the fun, the noise, everything else is still there. Now I'm used to the car. I know everything about it, which is fun in its own way as well because now I'm used to it. I feel like I'm more confident when I drive the car now. You know, I can do whatever I want with this car, and I'm very confident about it. I've actually had 3 issues with this car, and I would say they're all really minor issues. Maybe one of them could be considered a major issue. So I'll start with the minor stuff. So first minor thing I had is on the side of this car, I have the LED door panels. So when you open the car, there's an LED light that says GT3 on it. On my driver's side, that light wasn't working anymore. So I just went to the dealer, they replaced it, they gave me a new one under warranty. You know, pretty small thing. It's not like a big deal, but it was like whatever. I think that stuff will go bad on any other 911. Another issue I did have, and I had the same issue on my Cayman, is the sun visors. So I don't know why these sun visors aren't really made very well. They're made kind of out of like this cheap plastic. So what happened was I opened the sun visor, I opened the mirror, and then the plastic piece just broke off. I had this exact same issue on my Cayman. So this is like a known issue for, I guess, this year, model year of Porsches. And I know it's a known issue because I actually went to the dealership because I have this car under warranty, right? And I had my Cayman had the same issue, and I went to warranty and they fixed it. And I went this time with this 911, and then they were saying they actually experienced this issue so much that Porsche stopped offering warranty, or they stopped offering to fix this under warranty because they had so many models that have this issue where the sun visors kept breaking and everything, that Porsche was just like, you know what, we're just not gonna do warranty anymore for this. I guess they were tired of giving away the money, which sucks. In my opinion, I'm not gonna even fix it right now. Maybe I'll fix it before I want to sell the car, but I feel like it's not even worth fixing it. It's not worth throwing, you know, $200, $300 to fix it because they have to replace the whole sun visor, and then it's probably gonna just break off again because it's just that plastic is it just breaks so easily. So Those are the two little minor issues I had with the car. Third issue I did have was the check engine light. I took it to the dealer. They had to replace the evap system. They said there was a small leak. They replaced it on our warranty. I think if I didn't have the warranty, that would have been like a $1,500 charge for that. It's just some small leak. There's not much I could do about it. I feel like it happened on any car, but I just took it to the dealer. They fixed it. Done and done. Those are the only 3 issues I had with this car in the past year. The evap stuff could be considered a little like medium/major issue. It doesn't. The car was driving perfectly fine. Like, it didn't affect the car at all. It was just like a emissions thing. So not a big deal for me. And now 8,000 miles in this past year. No other major issues on this car. Everything else has been pretty solid. Now let's talk about how it's like driving this car over the past year. So I live here in Georgia, and here in Georgia we experience like all 4 seasons. Snow, we do get snow sometimes, but I actually haven't driven this car in the snow, so I won't talk on that. But just overall, I've driven this car in the summer, hot summer days, and driven it in the cold winter. Overall, this car handled everything like really well. In the summer, it's as you expect. It's a sports car, so in the summer everything's perfect. There's no issues. In the winter, I will say, these tires, I have the Cup 2 tires on this car. In the winter, for the most part, everything's good, but you do want to, drive the car a bit, let the tires warm up, because these tires, when they're cold, you do notice a little difference when they're cold and you're trying to drive it at first, that they're not as grippy as you would want. So you do want to, take it slow in the winter, warm up the tires and everything. Just drive like don't drive like an idiot, basically. Like, be aware that these tires aren't meant to perform as well in the cold. But I've never had any issues with like traction or anything, or losing traction with this car. Everything's been fine. And then in the rain especially, something I was really surprised about how well this car is in the rain. You have 500 horsepower and you're driving in the rain, you got to be careful. You don't want to lose control of the car. But I've driven this car in like really heavy rain before, and it was fine. My advice is just don't drive like an idiot. If it's pouring really hard, don't gun it. Don't do anything stupid. Don't drive like an idiot is my best advice, and this car will be perfect. Even though this is considered a supercar, super high-end track car and everything, it's honestly just like any other car, and Porsche did a really, really great job with this car. I had my Cayman for 4 years, and I've had this car for a year, and this car performs just as well as that car did, and that car is way more like a daily vehicle than this car is. This car is very track focused, but this car is just so good. The engineers did such a good job. Porsche did such a good job with this car that as I was saying, yeah, Porsche did such a good job with this car. Like, it does everything you want it to do. Like, if you want to drive it like as a daily and have fun with it, you can. If you want to drive it as a daily, you can. If you want to have fun on the road, you can. If you want to take it to the track, you can. It really is, as they say, like it's a car made for everything. And what you're really giving up with this car is, it's just a little bit more uncomfortable than a regular sports car. Who cares if it's uncomfortable when you can just do that? Who cares? There's always that saying about like, if you should meet your heroes. If this is your hero car, this is 100% you should meet this hero car. And this car is just so good. Everything about this car is great, and if you can tell by the smile on my face, I still love this car. It's still fun to drive all the time. Like, just like, you don't even have to go fast with this car. Like, that's what makes this car so fun to me, is because this car is capable of going really fast if you wanted to, but you don't even have to go fast, because just the way the car is set up, most of the power on this car is at the top end, but the car just sounds so good. Even when you're not going fast, the car sounds really good. I don't even have the exhaust open right now, and it still sounds great. And it's just fun to drive. You can just wind out the gears, and everything about this car is just fun. Sometimes the car just leaves me speechless. Anyways, I just wanted to just really drive home the fact that this car is like any other car you would drive on the road. It might be considered a supercar, and this track focused car and all this stuff, but honestly, like, this car it can handle anything you throw at it. It's exceeded my expectations. Over the past year, I've learned that this car is something you can really just drive every day and enjoy. I daily this car, so that says something. And if you do have one of these cars and you're just letting it sit in a garage, like, please just drive it, man. Just enjoy it. Don't let it just sit there. If you're worried about it losing its value and everything, like, you can always make more money. In my mind, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. So you might as well enjoy the time you have with the car. You know, enjoy it, have some fun with it. And so that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe button, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.